But in my opinion, the even more serious problem is the violent child rearing that we don't label as child abuse, that goes on in good households all around the country under the euphemism of spanking. The term spanking is a kind of euphemism, and so for some purposes I try and avoid it. When I'm writing descriptively, I say corporal punishment in order to put the emphasis on this, that this is something that parents do to the body, the corpus of the child. But when you're talking to parents, you need to address them, I think, in the language that they speak, such as spanking, swatting, terms like that, and get across the idea that this is a strategy that is not as effective as other disciplinary strategies, and worse, has harmful side effects. But I think as long as we're using special terms to avoid the term hitting, and that's what it basically is, it's a continuation of the cultural legitimizing of bringing up children violently.
There's no two ways about it. When you hit another human being, whether they're your child or a co-worker, it's violent. Now, we've come up with a whole lot of euphemisms and denial mechanisms to say, well, if I hit my kid because my kid puts his hammer into my television screen, or my child's about to run out in the street and be hit by a car because my kid likes to play with plugs, that's not violent. Well, it is. You can't discriminate, especially in terms of the consequences. The consequences are the same. People do things towards their kids that they say isn't violent, which if it happened to them at work by a co-worker, there'd be lawsuits, police, firings. Kids are viewed under a different standard. What you do to your children in terms of yelling at them, swearing at them, name-calling, hitting, pushing, grabbing, spanking, all in the name of this is going to hurt me. That is the biggest piece of nonsense ever put forth. This never hurts the person doing the hitting more than it does the person being hit. I don't know anybody on earth who would rather swap and say, no, I don't want to hit you. You hit me instead. People simply don't volunteer to do that, and yet when parents do it, they say, oh, this is terrible, I really don't want to do it. It's violent. And one of the reasons our society has not come to grips with, and isn't even close to coming to grips with violence towards children, is we want to put a circle around a very small form of it and say, well, that's the real problem. Everything else that we do, or people like us do, that's really not a problem because that's in the best interest of my child. If I don't do that, my child is going to grow up to be a hooligan.